Welcome everyone. Let's do some Minecraft circuitry. I usually do programming stuff like PHP and JavaScript. Today I'm going to do some Minecraft circuits because I think it's a lot of fun. It's still programming, it's just Minecraft and circuits. And I'm going to ease into it because I haven't done this stuff in a while. If you aren't interested in gaming, you're probably not going to be that interested in this, but it's still interesting for me, and if you've played any amount of Minecraft, it's interesting to see. So without much fanfare, I'm just going to get to it. Let's do this. Let's bring the chat up. Yay! Okay, this is Minecraft. It's slightly modded. So Minecraft is an open world creative building game, and this version that I've got here is slightly modded because I need a specific kind of mod which allows me to put custom paintings in the game very easily, which I'm going to use. I'm actually going to use it for a presentation in a little while. So the webcam is a bit big. I can adjust that. That better? Anyway, that's as small as I'm making it. So the mod that I'm using for this, it's a mod pack actually. You can find it if you search for Technic launcher, and the mod pack is let me just see, what is this called? I'll try and see what it's called. Hold on. I can't. Anyway, it's one of the mod packs in the Technic launcher that has the Bibliocraft mod enabled, and in the Bibliocraft mod there is a painting printer which you can basically make an archive of custom PNG images and just use that as paintings. Like, you can print them onto canvases. It's actually pretty rad. I'm not going to do any of that now because it's kind of irrelevant to what I wanted to do today, but I will bring chat up. So also let me know in chat if the music of the game is a bit loud or a bit soft, and if my voice is a bit loud or a bit soft. I haven't done this combination of mic and Minecraft yet, so maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But the thing that I want to do today is I want to remind myself about some Minecraft circuitry things. So I'm going to use a few bits and pieces. Is any of this a command block? No. So most of the stuff that I'm going to do today is using just normal Minecraft bits and pieces. So for instance, redstone, which kind of looks like this in this texture pack, which texture pack of course is called Pure BD Craft. You can search for that as well. So redstone acts as kind of like a conductive trace in a circuit board, if you like. This is called a repeater. It's a way to repeat signal, which is cool. But also, if you, I don't want that info thing there. Oh, can I turn this thing off? Never mind. I'll just forget about that stuff for now. So this thing repeats signal. If you put some signal into it, look, I'll show you. So in Minecraft, there's this idea of signal attenuation. This thing is called a redstone torch, and it gives off a signal. It's like the terminal on a battery, and that signal travels along the conductive trace, if you will, or redstone. But notice here, it's very bright red here, whereas if you go over here, it's not as bright. I can show you a little bit more. You see how it dies out? I mean, it only lasts to about this block. I think it's like 14 blocks, and then you have to repeat it. So you can do that with a repeater, just put that there, and see the signal is now nice and strong again. And just to show you that that signal is being repeated and not just created there, if you put that off. Okay, so that's what a repeater does. A repeater can also add a delay. So I'll make this really delayed, and then I'll break this. Now, watch that bit over there where the signal's off. When I add this in, you see there's a slight delay there. I'll make it a little bit more obvious. I'll do something like this. So the signal's off, add this here, 1, 2, 3, and then it goes. You can use repeaters to repeat the signal, in other words, to re-amplify it, another 14 blocks of redstone. or you can use it. You can also use it to create artificial delays in your circuit. So that's kind of helpful when you're doing circuit design stuff. You make repeaters by combining things like stone and sticks and redstone. I don't remember the exact recipe. And sticks you get from trees, which don't spawn in the special type of map I've created. And stone you get just from digging down. And the redstone, on a normal map, if you want to play this in survival, which is one of the game modes that you can play in, on a normal map you can find redstone very deep underground. So you build tools and you mine down, and then you get this redstone, and you can use it to craft these kinds of components. You can combine sticks and redstone to get these redstone torches. You can combine lots of redstone to get these redstone blocks, and these redstone blocks act as power signals just like those redstone torches. But there are some side effects to the redstone torches that the redstone blocks don't have, and I'll explore them as we go along. Now, before I get too far into this, I actually want to open up a text editor. So, oh, that's the name of the mod pack, by the way. Not that I'm going to try and pronounce it. Audio level's still fine? Everyone's still happy? Atom. Woohoo! So Atom's a text editor. I just want to show some stuff with this quickly. And I'll make it nice and big so that you can all see it. Okay. Can you all see this? I'm sure you can all see this. If you can't, my apologies. Just shout in chat or something. Now, if you do any kind of programming, I'm a programmer and I do this kind of stuff often. If you do any kind of programming, you've probably come across something called an if statement or a conditional branch, and it looks something like this. If condition, you can even, so condition is something like var something is 3, where something is a variable, and if it equals to 3, then run this bit of code. Sometimes you have else constructs like this. Sometimes you have else ifs. But this is the thing that I want to talk about now. Now this bit inside the brackets here we call a condition. It's a predicate for the behavior that works in here. And this is a very common thing in programming languages. It's not as common to think of it in Minecraft. But actually Minecraft provides us just enough scaffolding to make general purpose programming. I don't know if you'd call it general purpose programming. It's got just enough mechanics in Minecraft to do binary logic, Boolean logic. And what that looks like is when we compare two things, we say variable is not equal to something else. That's a binary comparison or Boolean comparison. I'm going to use those terms interchangeably, though they're slightly different. This is a Boolean comparison, a Boolean operation, where we're checking if this is equal to something else. And we can do more complex things in a condition. We can say something like condition 1, so something equals something else, or something is not equal to something else. And some programming languages have it like double ampersand, condition 2. And this is, again, something that's very common in programming, in everyday programming. And we can actually do stuff like this in Minecraft, and it's basically the functionality that underpins a lot of circuitry in Minecraft. It's basically this stuff and command blocks that most Minecraft machines are built on top of, which is interesting. But it's slightly different. You see, with Minecraft, we have these redstone torches, and we have redstone blocks, and we have other things like switches, and we have other things like buttons, and all of these emit... Why can't I put this down? All of these emit some kind of signal. So that goes momentarily, that toggles on and off. Redstone blocks always give out a signal, redstone torches always give out a signal. But we can't really easily control the intensity of these unless we use tricks like the attenuation as it goes down the line. In programming, we're used to a little bit more control. for instance, let's think about if we wanted to do something like counting in programming. We could make a variable, and I'm going to use var because we were just talking about JavaScript in chat before the stream, but we can use something like var state is 0, and then we can say something like state plus equal to 1 or state plus plus, and that will increase the value of state. So this started as 0 and becomes 1, and then we can keep on doing this 2, 3, 4. We can change the contents of those variables quite easily. But in Minecraft, it's more like register 1, register 2, register 3, and we need to try and chain logic if we wanted to make a counting circuit, for instance. Usually with JavaScript we could say state plus plus, but here we have to think of it slightly differently. We can, for instance, create a kind of store. We can say, oh, that's not particularly how you could do it, but we can put signals, we can use these signals to power a command block that creates a redstone block. So we can set something on permanently, like we can toggle a switch, right? And so you have to start using simple binary stores, binary variables, to try and track complex state. Now, I don't know if I've explained that completely, but let's go back to our counter example. We could do state plus plus in a general purpose programming language, but in Minecraft we have to do something more akin to if input, which is a boolean, right? If boolean input. If register 1, register 2 is true. We don't really have to add this, but I'll put this in here. And we just keep on replicating this functionality. Does that make sense? So we can't really make these with richer variable, make these hold richer types or richer kinds of data than 0 or 1. But we can use the 0s or 1 cumulatively to say, okay, well, if we've registered, we can say, register 1 is true. We always set that to true. Okay, we can say something like, the very first time we get an input signal, set one of these variables to true. And I'll also default these. The very first time we get an input signal, set the first variable to true, or 1. Then, the next time we get a signal, if there is already a true variable in that first register, set true to the second register. And this way, we have a lot of repetition, but we can do a simple counting circuit. And right at the end, we can reset this to say something like register 1 is false, register 2, 3, and 4 is false, are false. And so the next time we get input, it'll start the counter again. This is essentially how you make a counter, or it's how I've made a counter before. And the logic is far more repetitive and far more simplistic than a general purpose programming language, but it's still possible to do stuff. I mean, it's no less powerful, it's just more verbose. How could we do something like this in Minecraft? Let's head over to Minecraft again. Okay. Let's give ourselves a command block. So you can't actually get a command block through creative mode inventory. You have to summon it in. But you can say something like give, it's command give. I think this will work. Yes. Okay. So that command is give player name space command underscore block space 1 or 64, however many you want to give. That'll give you this command block. And this has a special interface. So when this gets input, you can do things like whisper, when this gets input, you can make it do something. It's not actually going to do it for me because I've done something wrong. Will that work? There we go. Okay, so in command blocks, you can give a command in this box over here, and as you toggle or as you give it an input signal with a redstone torch or a redstone block or whatever, it will run that command. Okay? Now this is like setting that register, and I'll show you how exactly. To start with, what we're going to do is we're going to make this, we're going to get the coordinates of this block here. Okay? Now I'm on a Mac, so I need to actually type Fn Alt F3, I think it is. Okay, so F3 if you're on a normal keyboard, or Fn Alt and F3 if you're on a Mac. And have a look over here, X, Y, and Z. These are interesting variables. Now I don't have a pen to write this stuff down, so I'm just going to have to remember it. But okay, so the command that we're looking for, we're going to try out, is set block. And then it's an X, Y, and Z coordinate system. So we'll do something like -1, 5, 3, 9, 3, 9. Okay, and I'll just do that for now. Come back here. Y is 4. And Z is -709. Now, I think these actually have to have spaces between them. It's been a while since I've done these commands, so I don't remember exactly. But here we would say redstone block. Let's see what this does if we give an input signal. Okay, that's not bad. Now we can delete that. Try again. Now this we can think of as the process of setting those registers, or putting a true or false value in those variables that we had. Let's make it daytime again. I didn't even... Nope. Up. Yep. Okay, so what did I have wrong here? 707? I wonder if I was looking at the right measurements. Anyway, I think that'll do it. No! 708! 708. Okay, so we can think of this as setting our variable to 1 or whatever. Now, there's a trick when you start doing these commands that you can use, which I've got written down elsewhere. You notice that it's writing a lot of nonsense to the screen. Block placed. And in the log, it's going to set a lot of this stuff as well. So your log files could get very big. There's a command that you can use, 2 commands actually. The first is this. Oh, Control V. Game rule log admin commands to false. That means that your log files won't get huge from creating all these blocks when they're placed. It's actually difficult to see. Oh, I wonder if that's changed. Damn. Okay, I'll just try these quickly. Okay, alright, so the first one doesn't seem to work in this version of Minecraft. This is version 1.7 that this mod pack is running. But the second one looks like this. Let me drag this window over here so you can see. The second one looks like this. Game rule command block output false. And when we put that command in, we're no longer going to get spammed when that block gets created, which is pretty useful. Now, drag this back. Okay, now I'm going to take a 2-minute break quickly and get something to drink, and I will see you shortly. So